with the Korean world premiere 5-card lists. They released 5 cards, they're going to be Korean only, kind of like how they have the OCG only and the TCG only Noble Knight cards. And in these 5 cards they released, one of them's pretty good, another one's okay, and the other 3 are pretty meh. So I'll go over the really good one first. Elder God Noden, level 4 water fairy type fusion effect monster. If he was light or dark type he'd be way better, but he's not, so whatever. He's kind of like Poseidon, because he has the trident and he's fairy and he's like in the water and shit. Requires either 2 synchros and or 2 XYZ monsters. When you special summon, you can special summon out level 4 lower monster from your grave. Its effects are negated, and if he's this card's removed from the field, you banish that card. Whatever, he's probably going to go straight into an XYZ with it anyway. Cool thing about this card, it's only level 4, so great instant fusion target, since instant fusion surprisingly doesn't negate the fusion monster's effect. So that's pretty good. And instant fusion counts it as a proper fusion, so you could use Monster Reborn to bring them back later. Or if there's anything else that targets water or fairy types. I think there's quite a few that target water. I'm not sure. Off the top of my head. But yeah, if you instant fusion him, go into his effect and go into an XYZ and he gets... Actually, do they count as proper if they get detached? I'm not sure about that. Instant fusion does properly fusion some of them, so if they get sent to the graveyard immediately, Monster Reborn and like Call the Haunted do work on him. But if they get sent there after that, I'm not sure. The rulings for that are kind of tricky. And I don't know them off the top of my head because it doesn't really come up that often. But yeah, instant fusion, best way to bring them out. Super poly if you're playing like a heroes deck. Or if you're just siding against someone who goes into a ton of like XYZs and shit, you just want to fuse your opponent's monsters and go into this card to screw them over. Or Miracle Synchro Fusion, if you're into that kind of thing. Miracle Synchro Fusion isn't really that great though. It's a good way, like if you go into heavy XYZ cards like Crazy or Synchros, like Karakiri monsters or gadgets and shit like that. You can just fuse them from your grave and go into this guy and reuse their effects because they're a whole bunch of level 4s and stuff like that. Actually, Fire Fist too, I think. Yeah, that actually wouldn't be too half bad. But it's more of a late game card. You don't really want to add cards to your deck for late game stuff. It's all about trying to win early. But I guess that is an option if you want. The most practical one, of course, is just going to be straight up Instant Fusion. Instant Fusion is going to make this card really good. Anyways, on the next one, Ghostrick Break. When exactly one Ghostrick monster you control is destroyed by opponent's card or battle or effect, and sent to the grave, target 2 Ghostrick monsters with different names, and the destroyed monster in your graveyard, special summon those targets in face-up defense position. Pretty easy, since Ghostricks usually use a variety of them. That card's going to be pretty cool, I think, or it might just be terrible and not really all that great. I don't know, I'll have to see it out. I play Ghostricks a lot, so I'll see that. And then the other ones, what is his name? Girl-Kite? Something Kite. It was a level 4 Fiend type Fire Tuner monster. When he's sent from the field to the graveyard, inflict 500 points of damage to your opponent. The good thing about this card is that he's a Fire type level 4 Tuner with 200 defense, which means he can be brought up with Fire Dog or Rekindling. So that's cool because he does a 500 damage. There are a couple other cards that work just like that, but they don't have the cool 500 damage when they're sent to the grave for the synchro summon like this card does. So it'll probably be used over those if you're Korean or playing on DevPro or some online thing. Wattchick Fighter. It's a psychic type Watt monster, which is kind of weird because usually all Watts are thunder. And it's only level 3, 1500 attack, so you can be brought up with Emergency Teleport, which is kind of cool, I guess. His effect is kind of lame though. When this card is normal or special summon, you can target one card in your opponent's grave, put that card on top or the bottom of the deck. You can only use the effect of Wattchick Fighter once per turn. So I guess you can force your opponent to draw in a card they can't use anymore or something, I guess. But I think it's more about going into a Watt monster to help them with their really annoying to bring out synchro monsters. I guess that could work or something like that. I don't know. He's not the greatest. And then the next one, Earth-shattering. Continuous spell card. When this card is sent from Either when a card is sent from the deck to the graveyard, target one card in either graveyard, shuffle that target into the deck. Also, neither player can send cards from the deck to the graveyard for the rest of the turn. So basically, if your opponent mills, you can return one of those cards back to the deck, and then they can't mill for the rest of the turn. So it stops Lightsworns pretty hard. Or Shadows. I guess it's a good side card. Alright, and that's it. What is his name? Elder God Noden, the Poseidon dude. He looks pretty promising. I'm definitely going to build a deck around him when he comes out in DevPro.